Hi, readers. Good morning. How are you? Happy Wednesday. So, yesterday we read that great short story, Last Kiss by Ralph Fletcher. And today I want to do a little bit of thinking work with you, specifically thinking about how characters might feel. And so, what I want to teach you today is this. I want to teach you that we can really pay close attention to the actions, the words, the thoughts of a character to really help us reveal what they're feeling. And we want to think about we want to think about plural, multiple actions, multiple thoughts, multiple words that they say. Okay, so watch how I do this. Okay. Here we go. So I was thinking, like I said, about Last Kiss, and I was thinking about this one part right here where Ralph goes to give his father a hug, right? These are the actions. He goes to give him a hug, but the words are, his actions are he moves towards him, and his dad says good night. And what his dad does, so even thinking about the actions of Ralph and also his dad, he wraps his arms around Ralph and gives him a bear hug. And then Ralph says night. My voice was muffled against his chest. He released me and went back to packing the car. For a few seconds, I didn't move. So I'm thinking about that action. First of all, the action of a hug, obviously, instead of a kiss, right? Um, and then the action of his father, he gives him the hug, then he goes back to packing his car. So also think about what was said and what was not said. You know, his dad doesn't say why he stops kissing him, and he gives him a hug as if it's just like similar to a kiss, and just do it and go back to working. But it's not, and it's very different for Ralph because this is something he's been used to his whole life, and so he doesn't move for a few seconds. He doesn't move, and I feel like that action tells us a lot about how he must have been feeling in that moment. And so if I think about that, think about everything I know about the text, think about this is his second time going in to get a kiss, and then looking, I'm thinking for sure that he is probably on, if we're thinking about our feelings, you know, is he feeling up or down? He's definitely feeling down, I think. And then, you know, is he sort of like a low down or a high down? And I tend to be like, I don't, you know, he stood, his actions does they, you know, he's not, we don't, his father doesn't really see him being upset. So I think a lot of times in our up action, sometimes there are I don't know, louder actions, maybe, if you will. And there seems to be quieter actions when they're sort of low energy. So he just stood there and he didn't move. And that would be easy for his dad not to notice that. He went back to packing. He didn't, you know, he didn't yell, he didn't stomp his feet. He didn't, where if he were angry, that would have been. So then let's see. I definitely think that he was probably feeling disappointed. um, I don't think he was disgusted. I think he was really disappointed. This is second time. There was no conversation. Um, and maybe even a little discouraged, um, because I'm thinking now that this has happened twice, that maybe his father is not going to ever kiss him again. And he doesn't really understand why. So that feels like to me that maybe he's disappointed about it, but he's also feeling a little discouraged, like, I don't know if that's gonna happen again, you know? So I would probably say, and if I were writing a post-it, you know, I could say something like, um, Ralph is feeling disappointed and discouraged. And I might say something like, I know this or think this because I think this because he was hoping when he went up to his dad, he was hoping when he went up to his dad for a kiss and didn't get one. And that was probably disappointing. I may, need a couple of Post-its to say that. And then I could have also added the discouraged too. So I kind of, explain why he's disappointed. I might even say he is also probably feeling a bit discouraged. This is twice now where his father hasn't kissed him good night. Maybe it's a pattern. Maybe this will continue. He may be feeling this will probably continue, right? So readers, you see what I'm doing? One of the things I think is really important is to really think about everything that you know about a story when it comes to a part where you're thinking about a character's feelings. So when we look here, that it's you know that what came before. You know that before he had, went earlier and dad shook his hand, right? And now he gives him a bear hug. So thinking about that, those actions, and then some dialogue, good night. That's all he says. Good night. No explanation about this. Then we can kind of go to our feeling words and we can decide, do we think he's feeling up or down? I think that helps first. And then do we think he's showing those feelings in a high energy way or a low energy way, right? And then zoom in to which words do we feel like are really accurate here. And sometimes it can oftentimes be 2, maybe 3 words even to show those feelings. And then we can jot a Post-it, kind of really thinking a little bit about where do we get that idea from? Where do we get those feelings from? So readers, today when you go off and you're reading in your books, grab a couple of Post-its or grab your reading notebook, and really think a lot about the journey of your character. When you're, in the end of your 2nd or 3rd chapter, think a little bit about, what you know about this character up to this point and why this character might be feeling the way they're feeling. And then go to some of those, decide, are they feeling up? Are they feeling down? Important to pay attention to both of those things. And then zoom in to high energy, low energy, and could you find the exact word that this character is actually feeling? Okay, readers, you can do a little chatting around it. It's really going to help you to think and pay closer attention to your characters. And we want to pay close attention to them, right? Just like we want to pay close attention to ourselves and our own feelings. And we want to pay close attention to the feelings of the people we care about most, and really be sensitive to those feelings for ourselves and for others, right? And help everybody accept them and understand them. I think the more we pay attention to them in books, it's going to help us even in our own lives to pay attention to them more. Okay, readers, happy reading. Great to see you. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.